Welcome everyone to Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club's Halloween Havoc special. We are here at Watkins Glen International, where we take the GT4s for a couple exhibition races. Very excited for this event here. As if you haven't noticed at the date, it is Sunday, not Saturday. So let's see what these guys can do. Love a lot of familiar names here out on track. One of them, for example, being the Dutchman of Mike Van Doorn, taking on the McLaren 570S. Got a lot of drivers competing here this evening. Should be a very exciting race. As we see Mike going through the inner loop, now coming around to the outer loop now. On board with them now. So we're using the NASCAR layout of Watkins Glen. So just after the boot, they're taking a long straight that will take us through the last 3 turns of Watkins Glen. As we're watching Mike now, currently fastest with a 1:14.7. Ooh, just taking the car off track there. We have about 16 minutes left to go here in practice. Then we head into qualifying, which will be a 10-minute session. And then it'll be a double header, 2 races this evening. One race will be 25 minutes. And race 2 will be 30 minutes. Taking a look at other cars who are on track. There is Austin Wilson having a bit of an issue with the drone camera. Looks like I'm not going to be able to use that one. There is Austin Wilson sitting in the pits. Martin Webster as well, running some laps a little bit earlier. Cole Bradbury on track, doing a 1:17.1. Do have the likes of Lantisir and Danny Nasir, as well as Oswin Wilson, as I mentioned previously, who are on track. Do not see on stream just yet. See what they can do. But of course, Sunday, not really our normal day that we go racing. Of course, we go racing every Saturdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Direct Time. So if you want to join us for future events, go ahead and join us in our Discord. Link is in the description down below. And yeah, go ahead, be a part of us. Every week, we are hosting some of the most popular, close, action-packed races. Just last week, we watched Tavar Clark and Martin Webster duke it out for the win of the third round of the Radical Caribbean Cup, which was really a nail-biter when it came down to the closing stages of that one. Awesome race there. So I can't wait to see what these guys do in the GT4s for the second time in CMRC history. As the first time we ran it was last year. Actually, we had run the GT4s around Mont Tremblant. Of course, this was a very, very long time ago. We didn't even have a commentary or a YouTube channel. We were streaming all our events on Facebook. So yeah, of course, obviously those races will eventually be on the surface on our YouTube channels very soon. Got a couple more drivers joining into the server. George Hall. And we have a newcomer joining us here. I think he's having a little bit of trouble joining into the server, but should be in with us for the race here. You see, we're just probably rejoining the server there. Cole, the only driver on track right now, so let's jump on board with Cole, who is in the Alpine. Let's see what he can do here. So far, his lap is looking not too bad. Ooh, I say that just the last corner. Missing out on the apex big time, but hopefully he can run us another lap so we can take a look at what a lap is like around Watkins Glen. So coming up to turn 1, braking at the 200-meter board down into third gear. Looks he has Mike Van Doren coming up the hill. Is Mike gonna take the inside? That McLaren, ooh! Just slides that car a little bit. Cole taking that car to the pits. So just currently answering a couple of the drivers who are in the Discord right now. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the live chat. Here to answer all the questions you guys have. See who else we can catch on track. Danny Nasir. Oh, sorry, that's Lance here, not Danny Nasir on track. He's just putting in his laps there. In the BMW. The BMW M4. So you can fly past our screens, just 8/10 off the pace, so not getting turn 1 right there. Danny Nasir also in the BMW. Off the second sector. working into the server now. Let's see if he actually did load into the pit lane. There he is. So it looks like that is working for him there. Back out on track, there is Danny Nasir and Lance Nasir. Both drivers are in the BMW as well as Oswald Wilson. So those are all the BMWs that are in the server, I believe. Beautiful camera shots here, the helicopter cam. Now it comes across the line to begin a lap here, so let's keep an eye out on him. Go driver's eye now. Just going a little bit wide there. Back with Mike now, and I think it's time we should join the Discord up, and let's go talk to the drivers just before we get this event underway.
I just realized my seat is not like straight aiming at my monitor. I think I'm sideways.
My chair never is.
Well, like, mine normally is, but like it's easily movable, so I didn't even realize.
Mic check.
Hello.
Hey, Cole, are you still having issues?
No, just I had a bit of lag, but that's it.
All right, I saw you teleporting a little bit there. Hey, George, what about you? What's going on? I think his mic's just muted there.
Yep, only Alpine out, I think, for me. Maybe I don't take off. I'm not going to finish that reference, but you know.
Yeah, hopefully none of you guys try going airborne with these cars. That would be pretty difficult.
In before there's a fight between an Aston Martin and me.
Oh, yeah. All right, cool, George. Yeah, just try to get that activated and try joining in now. Hopefully that should do the trick.
I think qualifying said it was like 11 minutes.
Yeah, it's gonna be a 10-minute session. Just the 1 extra minutes for the outlap.
And then both races say they're 30 minutes, I think, somehow.
So the first race is 25 minutes because we're going to do a rolling start, so that should take a bit of time off. So once we get around the track, slowed down, there should be 25 minutes left from that rolling start. And then the standing start, obviously, we're going to be going racing as soon as the lights go out, so that'll be 30 minutes.
Okay.
Hello.
Hey.
Isaac.
No, it isn't.
The one Chevrolet's here now as well.
Yeah, Isaac, sadly for you, I'm only slightly hungover.
Oh, Cole told you about that, didn't he?
Of course I did.
So there are some of the drivers.
Also told him about the Dutch New Year tradition that I found out about from Sandra today. You missed out on it.
Let's turn him down just a little bit there.
It's testing the 70s car.
As we're just watching Cole overhead now. Comes across the line, puts in a 1:17.2.
By the way, Isaac, first race is a rolling start.
Oh, there's 2 races.
Yeah, first race is a rolling start, no pit stop. Second race, a standing start, is pit stop.
Yeah, I'll go over that when you guys are on the grid.
How long are both races?
Both races will be 30 minutes in length.
Jesus.
Isaac, we've done
Is there a mandatory
Validated.
stop in?
For race 2, that'll be a tire change. Ooh, Danny Nasir going faster in the second sector.
So summary, just have enough fuel. It's
Without
just
pit stop for the first race, yes.
100%. These guys can do it.
Good exit from Danny Nasir there. Wonder if he can carry that momentum coming across the line. Cannot. He's actually 6/10 down. He's gonna pull over and put that car into the pits. Back with Mike here. You hear that McLaren go past our screens. Beautiful car. So now watching Mike on a flyer now, 47th. Just hundredths off there. On his personal fastest time going through the inner loop. Now coming around to the outer loop. Fastest in the middle sector, coming across the line. To see Isaac joining into the server now. Minute 28 left in practice. There you see the Swedish Iceman joining in. Getting that nickname after last week in Dover, where operating the Hillman Imp, absolutely flying past the competition, earning himself driver of the day that weekend. So we're gonna see now a new reborn Isaac Nilsson, what he can do around Watkins Glen with these GT4s. So we are here at sunset. There goes Oswin past her screens there. Checkered flag is out for overtime. And Oswin is actually going quicker in the second sector. So we'll see what Oswin can do. A little bit scruffy coming in for the second to last corner there, and he's actually going to get himself a cut track. So we're actually using a little bit different cut track rules for this event as a little test. So normally 4 cut tracks will give you a drive-through penalty, but we have now switched it to 4 cut tracks will now give you a 5-second time penalty. A new rule being implemented there. Danny's your last driver on track, I believe.
True, the Alpine says it can top out at 458 kilometers an hour.
Yeah,
for some reason.
I think that's only doing that on the Norris Lifer.
Just don't hit me, please. If you're doing 400.
You need to put this thing in a blender to get that speed.
All right, so all the drivers are in the pits right now.
Size comparison would be massive.
Correction, Danny Nasir still out on track. Just crumbing across the line there to complete that lap there. We're
Let's
just
see the amount of people.
Just going to do a quick rejoin into the server. Hopefully we can get that drone camera working once again. Did have it working earlier in...
The announcer card's disappeared. Oh no.
Here. Yeah, just rejoining.
Did you restart the server?
No. I just rejoined. That's all. All right, so as it is a Sunday, we don't get our action-packed huge grid that we normally get on a Saturday.
I can hear it, and it's a bit annoying.
25 lap race, right?
25 minutes.
25 minutes. Sorry.
Rahul will probably
Is the
explain.
a race time of 30 minutes here? Is that a practice time?
So
Rahul,
it's
explain.
yeah. I'll explain to you guys are on the grid. The 25 minutes are because we're going to do a rolling start in the first race.
Okie dokie.
So that's why it says 30 minutes.
Yep.
First race, no pit stop. Second race, you've got to pit.
So yeah, it looks like we are getting a bit of issues. Just going underground here. Looks like we're gonna have to just leave that out of it there, but we are just waiting until the server goes into official qualifying. If you guys are enjoying yourself in the stream, make sure to go hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. And we thank you all for 200 subscribers. We've reached our goal very quickly. Took us a while to get our first 100, and we're already at 200 now, so we thank you so much for subscribing. Our next goal, I guess we should say, is 250. So if you guys are new, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Yes, we are one of the fastest growing sim racing communities around here. Qualifying is now underway. All right, good looking qualifying. There you see the guys going out on track there. Let the games begin. Just watching who is coming out of the pits there. Man, real shame we can't get the drone camera to work. It looks like the time has turned to day. There's George Hall. Let's find who's at the top of the queue. Isaac Nielsen going through the inner loop. Mike Van Doren ahead of him, and Cole Bradbury looks to lead the pack.
The game just changed to me till midday.
Yep.
Same time.
Yep, that's fine. Don't worry about it. All right. Here comes Cole around the final corner now to begin the first flyer of the Halloween special here. Of course, we're not going to be able to see the first sectors as well. That'll be on the next lap. On board with Cole now in the Alpine. Very smooth. We're on the Assets. Now down the straight here. So you see the race logic timer ticking away. Now down on the brakes, 4th gear. How well does the suspension keep up with the inner loop? Very well. And now slowly starting to full lock the wheel, keeping the speed around that carousel. And then straightening up the car for the back straight. Now getting back on the main full layout. Last 3 turns here. Ooh, just missing out on the inside curb there. 1 corner to go. And not hitting any of the last 2 apexes. Ooh! And Mike, a big hit onto the wall there. Another driver being kicked. And now we can watch the times go on. DeVille, make sure you have both real penalty and car radar enabled in your content manager settings. You're having that issue before. There should be real penalty if you are getting a big checksum error with a red screen.
Sure.
So Cole just 3/10 off of the first sectors. We look at the man behind him who is going very much quicker in the first and the second sector. On board with him now. Let's watch how he takes these last 3 corners here. Or the last 2, I should say. Very much on that apex there. 1 corner to go in the McLaren 570S. Just missing out on the curb. Smoother exit than the last lap. And he's got a little bit of a tow from Cole. Coming across the line now, and that's going to be a time of a 15.2. Oswin Wilson with a 15.5. Danny Nasir entering a time at 15.7. George Hall letting go of Oswin Wilson on track there. On board with him now in the BMW, just close to kissing the apex there. Keeping it in 4th gear, revving it out. 1 corner to go, slaps the wall for good measure. Martin Webster behind him as well, coming across the line now, and it's going to be a 15.3. Martin Webster putting a time of a 15.8 in that Jetta. Back with Mike Van Dorn, he's 0.003 of a second, just off. Ooh, just clipping the grass there. That's going to lose him some time, and he's going to pull over to the side of the track there. Time is ticking away. We already have 6 minutes left to go in this session. It's not the normal 15 minutes that the guys are used to in qualifying. So Danny Nasir watching right now, just a little bit off with 1 corner to go. Oh, and he actually gains a cut track because of it. And that lap time will be deleted for him. With now Martin Webster in that Jetta. On board with him, we're going to see how much G-forces he takes through the inner loop as he goes across the first, second, missing out the third, but running over the 4th curb. And now running through the carousel now. Isaac Nilsson, the Swedish Iceman in the Chevy. You think we're getting confirmation? Actually, no, we are not just yet. If DeVille is good to go racing, hopefully he is. Isaac very neat through the Assets. So, watching Isaac now on another flyer here. He looked very clean on the inner loop. Oh, but he's 5/10 off. Check out who else is on a flyer now. Martin Webster just beginning a lap. Danny Nasir is fastest in the first sector. That BMW has the potential to put that thing on pole. He's currently third fastest on track now, coming across the line. And he's gonna put that car into the pits after that lap there, but looks like Danny Nasir has a chance to put it on pole. However, Oswin Wilson might be extending that one. Fastest in the first and the second sector. However, the third sector just losing out a 10th. Let's go to Martin Webster, who's looking pretty green, positive in the first two sectors. See if we can keep that lap going. Touching the apex, looking very good. A lot of steering input. One corner to go, looking clean on exit. Now ready to come across the line, and that's fourth with a 1:15.8. He stays fourth. Lance Desir, we are watching now, ready to come across the line. As Cole, we see him in the background. We're going to take a look at him as well. Lance Desir coming across the line with a 18.0, and Cole coming across with a 16.4, so not as fast as what he had hoped for. That lap there. Martin Webster 5/10 up. Let's see how he does. Very close to that inside wall there, but just losing it out on the third little bump there. Cole has a very good slipstream to himself and Lance Desir. Now coming to the inner loops. The BMW might be a little bit slower through here, however, as Cole's carrying a lot of speed. Isaac letting out the way. And of course it is qualifying, so both drivers don't have to let go of each other at all. Lance Desir is on a flyer. I think Cole's best chance is really just to back off and probably give himself some space, and it is one lap left. Ooh! Side by side. This is not what Cole needs right now. Cole, I think he should have backed off, because I think he realizes he's much faster than Lance Desir, and he's going to put that car into the pits and ruin his chances at a flyer. Mike, however, currently going faster. Danny Nasir ready to come across the line. He's going to begin one more as Martin Webster losing the back end, and that is going to be his qualifying over. Lance Nasir also improving. We are watching Danny Nasir as well. Mike Van Dorn looking to improve that pole position even more. Can he? He's still up. But the checkered flag is out. Mike just has one quarter to go. Let's see how he does. Missing out on the apex. It might be a slight improvement to push him into the 14s. Let's see what he does. Comes across the line now. Yes, it is. It's the 14.9. Where is Danny Nasir? 6/10 off. Can he do anything to push down Oswin Wilson? He takes that car as wide as he can. No, he's going to park it into the pits. Isaac comes across the line and stays throttled down, bounces over the wall there. Lance Desir can't improve either, and that is going to be your qualifying complete. It is Mike Van Dorn on pole. Good qualifying. Congratulations, your top 3. Mike Van Dorn, Oswin Wilson, and Danny Nasir. There the cars parked into the pits now. Is your pole setter, Mike Van Dorn. The Dutchman doing very well to put that car on pole. His 3rd pole position, I believe, in a row now. Following the last 2 races of the Classic Series. He did not take part of the Radicals. So all the cars sitting in the pit lane, ready to go racing. Here's Tavar in the Discord right now.
So this is a rolling start, yes?
Yep, I'll just go over that right now. So once the lights go out, we're going to go double file. And it's going to be a rolling start. So we're going to stay just under 100. And
no pit stop.
And no pit stop. So it's going to be a sprint race to the finish. So rolling start. We're going to be going after my cue. So the leaders and everyone just be ready for when I say to when we go green. So it'll be very similar to how we operate VSC restarts. So the timer ticks away. We have 2 minutes left to go before we get on track. So yeah, just make sure you have enough fuel to complete this race. And no mandatory pit stop. Just go out there and have fun.
Me panicking just doing maths, right, just then.
Yeah, as long as you have fuel to complete the race, the first race, all that matters. And
so am I allowed to choose right or left, or is it?
Wherever you start on the grid.
Yeah, wherever you start on the grid.
I think they're side by side here or not. I'm not sure.
Yeah, wherever you start off on the grid, that is where you're gonna stay for the rolling start. So it'll be 2 by 2. So we have a minute left to go.
I'm just gonna panic about Isaac on my inside or outside.
Taking a look, that is your qualifying. We're gonna go over that one more time. We also have Martin Webster and Tavar, I think.
I'm confused. Where's Curtis?
He's not able to join. I think he's busy. I think he said that in the chat earlier.
Church.
There are 8 cars.
I think so, yeah. Remember, yeah, it's a Sunday. Yeah, it's a Sunday evening. We're just doing this one for fun, and then next week we head to Barbados to finish off the Classic Series.
Might actually do the Radicals next week as well as Classics, who knows.
Alright, the drivers should be on the grid now, so we can take a look at them.
Good luck, everyone.
The race countdown is 3 minutes.
Come on, Azzy, you almost can beat up them all man here, Azzy.
So I'll give you guys this. Just because grids are small does not mean the racing will be nothing less of spectacular.
Next week.
It's very annoying that I can't move the real penalty thing. I don't know how to move it.
Yeah.
1,000 ping.
I had that right in front of me for an entire virtual 24-hour race. It was not fun.
Isaac, that ping will go down, I think, when the lights go out.
I know.
Hopefully you do, unless we have 1,700 ping for you for the entire race. I think that would be quite literally impossible to spot you.
Lead.
That would be a helicopter, not a car.
Nah, it's going down now.
Yeah, I see it.
Back to 114.
Clutch should be enabled.
Vibing at 91 ping.
If clutch is not enabled, I don't think these cars have clutch, Martin.
Some have clutch, some don't. It's weird.
Yeah, there's not really an option for me on my side to enable or disable.
Scary driving the heaviest car on the grid.
There's got a minute and 45 left to go. It's time that we begin race number 1 of the Halloween Havoc special. Will it be Havoc? I don't know. But I'm really excited for this one. Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club's Halloween Havoc special. It's GT Force take over at Watkins Glen.
Guys, formation lap.
I forgot, I'm sorry.
How long can we go single file for?
It is time to go racing now. As the drivers go around just looking at them, rounding out.
Yep, and I would say we call double file here.
Alright, Mike, slow that down to 80. Slow that down to 80. Start doubling up now. Start doubling up now. So 2 by 2, 2 by 2.
Isaac, you're next to me in the lineup. Martin, you're in front.
That's a reminder, you are on my cue. So when we go racing, you're on my cue. Keep it at 80. Always keep it at 80. Here we go. It is Mike and Oswin on the front row. Danny Nasir, Martin Webster on the second row. Cole and Isaac on the third. George and Lance on the fourth, and a lonely ninth. Neville Park in his debut race. We are getting ready now to go racing here at Watkins Glen. Waiting for the flag to drop. It is now green, green, green. And let's go racing now. Here they come, barreling down into turn 1. Little bit of contact there. I think one of the BMWs as well as Cole getting a little bit out of shape there. Couple drivers pulling over to the side. Who is that? Oswin Wilson not getting the best of starts. And he gets jumped. Oh, we have a bit of lag coming from one of the drivers in the background.
In front of me. Disappearing and appearing.
We're watching it. We're watching it. Ooh, we do have a lot of lag there. All right, yellow flags, yellow flags. VSC, VSC, VSC. DeVille, you are lagging a lot on our screens. You're doing a lot of teleporting. If by any chance you have any Chrome tabs open or anything on your screen that is not Assetto Corsa, if you can probably close that. As you are lagging a lot, and if the lag keeps up, we're gonna have to pull you out of this one. Just check out what you could do on your side. So single file, we're gonna give it just one lap around before we go racing again. So DeVille, if you can, just check on your PC if you have anything extra open that doesn't need to be open. And that will definitely help a lot with your ping. On the next lap, we will go racing. Next lap, we will go racing. Mike, you can put that up to 100 to 120. 100 to 120. The restart will be single file. So first caution out there had to be manually thrown out after a bit of lag coming from one of the drivers. Of course, that is not something we want at all, and we are pretty strict when it comes to those issues of internet connectivity. We know we have drivers from all around the world. Mike from the Netherlands, Martin from Guyana, Isaac from Sweden, Oswin from Guyana, Cole from the United Kingdom, Danny Nasir from Canada, Lance from Canada, George Hall as well from the United Kingdom. So we have drivers from all around the world, but we still need them to have the best of internet connectivity if they want to be racing online. The last thing we want is an incident to be happen just because a driver does not have the best of internet connections as everyone else. All right, start closing up with each other, single file, and get ready for the restart. Oh.
Oh.
We just saw a couple more issues.
There's some spinning in the back. You want to wait for them?
Yeah, we're gonna wait for them.
Somebody just hit me.
DeVille. Yeah, he's just gonna disconnect that one out. Lance, you could just bunch back up. So just abort start. We're gonna go just after the assets. So instead of you guys just rounding out, we had a bit of an incident at the back there. So very weird to see. I believe that was lag again. DeVille just plowing in the back of Lance Desir, but I think that was lag as well. Yeah, he's gonna retire that one there. See a Janetta on track. Let's bunch up quickly. Let's bunch up quickly so we can get ready for this restart here. Guys at the back. Green flag, green flag. All right, we go back racing again after a little bit of a hiccup there. And it's Mike leading, Martin Webster on the outside. And here they come, barreling down to the inner loop. And looking very clean there. Driver probably on the outside. Yes, it is. It's Cole Bradbury and Austin Wilson asking for company side by side. And he's going to take it around the outside there of the carousel. Isaac looking to make a move, probably on Martin Webster. Yes, he is. Danny Nasir shuffling down the order into P6. Lance Nasir, George Hall. A little late to the queue there. Oh, Isaac a little bit wide now. Martin Webster is going to be a little bit free there as he just clips the grass there. Oswin Wilson tags Isaac Nielsen.
A bit there, the car wanted to just turn straight back that way.
And Isaac is going to do a full 360 and get back on track, but it is going to stay green. He gets out the way. So remember, it's 2 races. It's 2 races, so stay in this one. Mike leads this one, followed by Martin Webster, Oswin Wilson, Cole, and Danny Nasir. That is your top 5. Oswin Wilson is starting to gain on Martin Webster. Oswin now 5/10 down the straight. Oswin Wilson hustling that BMW. The Janetta taking the inside there. Oswin going for a very wider line. Trying to get as much speed as he can on the back straight here. So 21 minutes left to go in this one. We also have an extra lap for the drivers. Ooh, Cole going very wide in the background there.
Don't do that.
Right. My brain was overthinking. Let's see.
2 laps in a row you did that, man.
The car runs
Oh, and Let's Nasir tags Danny Nasir. So Danny Nasir making contact
You go, Danny, you go.
with Cole.
Jesus, says Isaac.
Very interesting incidents going on in the back of the field. Cole going very wide and then just closing the door on Danny Nasir. That was his fault. But then Danny Nasir getting tagged by Lance Nasir. Very interesting there, and the field is already spread apart now, but Lance Nasir finds himself in P4. Very good for him right now. Oswin Wilson now fighting Martin Webster for that P2, and look ahead, it's Mike. Has Mike possibly made a mistake now? And Cole has left the session. Very interesting there, probably retiring at a race 1 if he can't compete in race 2. But this is your battle for the lead. Mike is now essentially running from the pack of Martin Webster and Oswin Wilson, as all 3 of them put the fastest lap of the session, one by one there. This is going to be a very interesting fight here. A lot of cut tracks going on for George Hall. Danny Nasir down in 7th, but where he is now is provisional pole for race 2. Oswin Wilson now back on board with him, just sticking on the rear of Martin Webster, who takes a lot more curb in that first one. Little bit wonky coming out of the inner loop there. Oswin Wilson even closer now. 5/10 separate himself and Martin Webster. He is so close. Looking on the battle cam now, Oswin Wilson 4/10, 4.5 the gap. That BMW does have the top speed. Actually gets a very good run. Now, round the final corner. Oh, he takes a little bit too much speed. Bounces off the wall, and Martin Webster, there you see him, just running away. The gap is now 4.4. Mike still leads it, but he's not pulling away that far. Martin going a little bit wide. Is he going to get a cut track from that? Does not. But Oswin Wilson very close on the rear of Martin Webster. The 2 Guyanese are about to go side by side. Can they? There they go. They are side by side, coming to the inner loop, and it's a tag. Martin Webster gets tagged from Oswin Wilson. Martin's gonna have to get that car rolling again. Luckily for him, Martin Webster is gonna keep 3rd position. Oswin Wilson getting a little bit sandwiched there. He's on the inside, and it just looked like Martin Webster just swiped in front of him. They stay green, however, and now Oswin Wilson has Mike Van Dorn to take care of. It's 17 minutes to go left in race 1. A very chaotic start here. Watching the back now, it is George Hall and Danny Nasir. George currently in last, Danny Nasir overtaking him. That would mean these two guys would be locking out the front row. There is Isaac. Isaac closing that gap down to Lance Nasir. Martin Webster now 7.8 seconds behind Oswin Wilson. Oswin Wilson now is going to start really in that gap to himself and Mike. Can Mike keep this up and earn himself his third career win here at CMRC? It's going to be an interesting race, winding down the time. 16 minutes left to go. They also have to complete one extra lap once the timer hits 0. Helicopter cam here over the top of Watkins Glen. 2.4 the gap. So Oswin is closing. The BMW is very quick on the straights. And now Oswin's just going to want to close in on his element and just focus on improving lap after lap. And eventually he's going to get to him. He has a lot of time. Lance Nasir putting in his personal best. But it's Isaac Nielsen who's 8/10 just behind him in that lonely Chevy. The only Chevy in this one. George Hall putting in his personal best. It's an 18.9. Isaac, though, closing in that gap. Gaining on him in the slipstream. Lance Nasir stays on his line, doesn't look to defend. Isaac doesn't make a move over the back end. Stepping out of him! Oh, and he's going to lose it! And Danny Nasir is going to take that position from him. And we see in the background George Hall. A little bit far behind. Closing in, but Isaac is going to lose out big time there. And Lance Nasir is going to be very glad he is off his tail. Back up the front here. Oswin Wilson is 2.4 seconds behind Mike Van Dorn. He sees him. He's in his sights. Martin Webster running a lonely P3. A very good P3, though, I should say. Isaac gaining his first cut track of this event. And a very, very interesting race we're going to find here for this first race now. There's George Hall going past our screens there. Mike is going to want to start opening that gap now in that McLaren. And I guess he wants to start focusing on getting away from Oswin Wilson. Oswin, when he is in his stride, getting that BMW to work, he will be on your tail in no time. We're going to watch the times now as they come across the start-finish line. Mike looking like he's increasing that gap. It's a 15.4 from Mike. Oswin Wilson comes across for a 15.8. So it looks like Mike is starting to open that gap up. 2.5, 2.7 the difference. 13 minutes left to go here in race 1. Martin Webster a little bit slower that last lap. He's now 9.7 behind. And here comes the pack. Lance Nasir is now going to have to start thinking about defense, as Danny Nasir and Isaac are both closing in. Isaac putting in his personal best of a 15.5. Danny Nasir not too far behind of his older brother here at CMRC. Both drivers operating the BMWs. We know Danny has the pace. He put that car in P3. The BMWs are looking very quick. Going over the curbs. Looking pretty good there. Just going to bring up the timer up on the screen. So 11 minutes and 55 seconds to go. George Hall calling it quits. Doesn't look like he has what it takes to compete with the guys here. And now, I believe Isaac Nielsen, no threat behind him now. There goes Lance Nasir, putting in his personal best of a 17.5. Danny Nasir, a 10th quicker with a 17.4. Looking back up the field, that gap still stays the same of 3 seconds between Oswin Wilson and Mike Van Doren. Very interesting to see how this reverse grid's going to go. If we're going to get some newcomers hopping in for the reverse grid. But as it stands, it would be Isaac Nielsen on pole, followed by Danny Nasir and Lance Nasir. The drivers in the reverse grid will also have to take a mandatory pit stop. Back up the field now. Oswin Wilson is still 2.9. But Mike puts in the fastest lap of a 1:15.0, and Oswin Wilson's going to take that of a 1:15.023. Mike Van Doren putting in a time of a 1:15.060. So Oswin Wilson is running the exact same lap times and running the exact same pace as Mike Van Doren. It's very good for him. But Oswin is going to have to go a little more quicker if he wants to close that gap now. 17.7 for Lance Nasir, 16.5 for Danny Nasir, 16.0 for Isaac Nielsen. This is about to be the fight for P4. Danny Nasir is closing in big time, and Isaac is not that far behind. Danny is reeling in Lance Nasir. He might be able to get into the slipstream now. Lance not going for any fancy defensive moves, but Danny Nasir makes a big lunge through the assets now, and it's definitely going to gain him some time. Mike now putting in the fastest lap of a 14.9, and Oswin Wilson putting in a 15.1. Mike tuning up the band as we now see Danny Nasir on the rear end of Lance Nasir. He pulls out to the inside. Can he get the move done? It looks like it. Lance Nasir cannot defend from that one, and Isaac is coming up fast. Can Isaac get it done into turn one here? They race down to turn one, to the 90. He sticks close behind. A lot of curb he takes over. And now Isaac trying to make a move on Lance Nasir. He has the slipstream. Looks to the outside. Lance Nasir trying to close the door on him. The nose is just on him. Lance Nasir has to give him the space. But Lance is really closing the door on Isaac. A lot there. Bumping door to door, and Lance Nasir is just going to have to let go of Isaac. The Swedish Iceman makes another slippery move around the competition. Now, Oswin Wilson is now losing a lot of time to Mike Van Doren, who's now opened the gap even more. That McLaren is working very well under him, but as it stands, Oswin Wilson will start ahead of him for the reverse grid. Martin Webster now 10 seconds behind the field here. Danny Nasir now free to catch up to Martin Webster, who is 20 seconds ahead. Isaac, however, will make that a little more difficult for him, as Isaac is going to push that one. He's 2 seconds behind Danny Nasir. Very clean through the assets now. 7 minutes to go. The drivers now spread up with each other. 2 seconds, should say 1.6 separating Isaac, but he is running really good here through this final sector. Let's see the sector time here. Coming across the line now is Danny Nasir. He puts in a time of a 16.3 and Isaac with a 15.6. So Isaac is definitely closing up this gap big time here. Danny Nasir has 6 minutes and 1 extra lap to go to hold off the Swedish Iceman. What can Isaac do? How wide can Danny Nasir make that BMW? Now coming through the assets. Ooh, Isaac a little bit wide, and he is just going to clip the grass. Doesn't lose any time. But now Isaac is under a second from Danny Nasir. Let's see the gap now. Danny Nasir looking pretty good. Danny just missing out on that apex. Isaac getting a little bit more of that corner. Watching the times now. It's a 16.1 from Danny Nasir, but a 15.5 from Isaac. And that is going to be his personal best. Isaac is tuning up the band now. He's looking for P4. Danny Nasir just has 5 minutes of defending now to go. So he can keep this P4 here. And Martin Webster's in the pits! And Martin Webster's gonna retire it! We heard Martin Webster was a bit busy. But now essentially this is the battle for P3! There you see the order being shuffled! Danny Nasir is now fighting for a podium position now! Now this is gonna be interesting! Isaac now realizing that this is for the podium spot. You can tell now he's gonna be tuning up this one. Real good here. Isaac now closing up this gap here. Both drivers running identical times. Isaac just a 10th quicker. Another classic CMRSC race coming down to the wire. The Swedish Iceman versus Danny Nasir. BMW versus Chevy. Sweden versus Canada. Here they come. Look at the delta of Isaac Nilsson. He is 3 thousandths of a second up. Ooh, Danny running it wide, cutting the grass there, and that's gonna make Isaac run off track a little bit. They're side by side around the carousel. Do they make contact? No, they don't. Isaac gonna go run a little bit wide. He's just ahead of him. Danny Nasir gets a little bit of a bump there. And Isaac Nilsson gets the job done for now. Can Danny Nasir possibly make a move onto the front straight? What a move! A little mistake there from Danny Nasir, probably watching his mirrors a little bit too much. But looks like Danny Nasir is not done with this battle. He's gonna want to tuck in behind and get the slipstream. This is your battle for P3. Just an update. Austin Wilson is 5.1 seconds behind Mike Van Dorn, who's about to start the 20th lap of this one. Danny now taking a lot of curb. Very risky, and it's going to lose him some time. Very similar to how much curb he had made trying to get close to Lance this year, but I think he's just messing up his braking points. And essentially that last lap did cost him big time. That one being a podium. But as it stands, it would be a Nasir 1-2 for the reverse grid. Danny Nasir is not over with this battle here. He's 8 tenths just behind Isaac Nielsen. Isaac putting in a 15.4. Danny putting in a 15.9. Both of them being their personal best. Danny Nasir getting in the dirty air, though. And running a little bit deep. Now running up the hill. Ooh, making a lot of weird, sharp turns, losing him time. He's even paying attention to the road up ahead, probably watching the Delta and watching how much time he has left. We are under a minute. Mike has 2 to go. Isaac running over the curb a little bit too much, but as well as Danny Nasir doing the exact same thing. How much speed can Danny carry through the carousel? He's still following close to Isaac Nielsen. This exhibition race is coming to a close for race number 1. We have 1 race to go, which should be a good one. Danny Nasir now 6 tenths. He's done a 15.8, a personal best, and faster than Isaac Nielsen. The leader has 2 laps to go. Mike is gonna start his final lap of this one, but Danny Nasir is now very close behind the Swedish Iceman. Can Danny Nasir possibly pull a move on Isaac? Coming into the inner loop, can he get close enough to make a move onto the back straight? Danny now onto the brakes, takes a lot of curb, looking very smooth. Keeps it in 4th gear, sticking very close behind that Chevrolet. Trying to carry as much speed as he can. He gets a good line out of the carousel there. Mike Van Dorn is on the final lap of this one, but we are watching the battle for the last place on the podium. It's Isaac versus Danny. Here they come to start the final lap of this one. What can Danny Nasir do? He's 5 tenths behind, and he's even quicker. It's a 15.8 against a 15.9. Danny Nasir is so close to Mike, though. Apologies to Isaac. We now switch over to Mike in just a moment. As there we see him now. Mike Van Dorn rounds up the final corner, and he is going to take home his 3rd career win at Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club. Mike Van Dorn finishes race number 1. Austin Wilson comes across the line to finish in P2. They are going to start from the back of the grid. And now Isaac Nielsen versus Danny Nasir are the 2 drivers we are watching now. Can Danny Nasir pull any move on Isaac? Or is it too late? Danny Nasir might just be a little too far behind. 1 corner to go. And looks like Isaac is going to secure that position. The Swedish Iceman is going to take home the final podium position. And Danny Nasir is going to have to settle for P4, but will be P2 for the reverse grid. And there is Lance Nasir to come across the line to finish that one. Fantastic race there. Congratulations to your top 3. Let's start with these interviews here. Isaac Nielsen, the Swedish Iceman, you have put yourself up into P3, the final podium position there. That was a good battle between yourself and Danny Nasir. How was that one? Speechless? Or did we just lose Isaac? Yeah, take us through those last moments there between yourself and Danny.
I drove as fast as I could. That's all.
Yeah, we saw you there coming up to the ending stages there. We saw Danny make a little mistake in the inner loop. That was your chance to make it. Once you made that move, did you think that was it? And that was a P3 for you there, or did you think Danny was still a threat to you?
Nah, I thought that was it.
You thought that was it? Well, Danny was making it a little bit hard for you, just under a second on the last couple of laps, but you managed to keep it in P3. Congratulations on that one.
Thank you.
Oswin, we saw you had a little bit of a little tangle between yourself and Martin Webster, but you come home and finish P2. How was that race for you?
A bit disappointing. Had a terrible start. Totally forgot about the cold tires and almost spun and I lost a few positions on the start. So it was just about recovering after.
Yep, after that, how was your battle between yourself and Mike as you were closing up the gap?
I was never closing up the gap. Mike was just way too fast and consistent. So I just gave up at the end and just drove and accept second place.
We did see you towards the middle half of the race when we still had Martin in P2. You both were battling very close, trading fastest lap after fastest lap. Was it really anyone's game there?
I know my car had the pace on Martin when after he made a mistake into turn one. I had the run. Went side by side going into the chicane. I decided to back out, but he turned in a bit too early just before I back out enough. And that was it for him.
Well, that was a good race from you. You now start in the back with Mike. Now, good luck with that one. And our race winner, that is your third career win here at CMRSC. Mike Van Doorn, you had that one under control. How was that?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, just good pace, consistency. Tires were a bit cold at the start, so that was a bit tricky. I saw a few drivers behind me as well, really struggling with the cold tires, but managed to get a bit of a gap early on and then just drove consistent laps. Actually set my second fastest lap that I did all week in the race, so that was good as well. But yeah, overall just good pace, good result, so yeah.
Nice one there for you. Now starting at the back of the grid, how do you find yourself with this one?
Yeah, I don't really know what to expect, to be completely honest, but looking forward to it. It's going to be a nice challenge.
All right, good luck with that. All right, you guys are going to be put onto the grid in about 8 seconds. This race will be a mandatory pit stop. We're going to go off the lights. So as soon as the 6 lights go off, you are going racing. It'll be a mandatory tire change for this one. So in this race, you must pit for tires once. Yellow flags will be a little strict for this race here. So if there are any spins and incidents caused by 2 cars, we will call out the virtual safety car. So now we have an all Nasir front row. It's Lance Nasir and Danny Nasir starting us off here for this one. With 2 minutes and 30 left to go, we are getting racing for the reverse grid. It's going to be Lance Nasir, Danny Nasir, Isaac Nielsen, Oswin Wilson, and Mike Van Doorn. This is going to be a very quick ultra sprint here. We usually find reverse grids to be very, very quick races. So it'll be interesting to see what the guys do out here as they get ready to go racing. Of course, if you want to join us and get into the action, we are not really normally a group that runs on Sundays at all. We run every Saturdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is where you find the big grids. But Sundays, as you can see, we don't really run all the time because a lot of drivers we have just really don't have time. A lot of drivers we have are from
one
Europe.
Question, is there a pit window or can we just pit whenever?
Pit whenever. So we have drivers all around the world from Europe racing at midnight, late night out here. So it'll be very interesting to see how this one goes. All right, since we're rocking with a little bit of a low grid here, let's throw in a little fun one here. So at the 15-minute mark, we will have a competition caution. So at that point, you guys can make your pit stops then.
Okay.
So I'll call that out when that does happen. So race control being very nice to us, giving us a competition caution. The last time we saw that in a championship was the GT3 Challenge Championship. And the last time we did see competition cautions in general was the Talladega Virtual. So 25 seconds left to go before the lights are out. So you guys are going on lights out. So as soon as the lights go out, you're going racing. Here we go. Five cars line up on the grid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lights, and looks like a bit of a jump start from Mike. Has it been? Yes, it has. We had a little bit of a jump start there, but the lights go out and we go racing now. Isaac leading the pack. Austin Wilson around the outside there. And now the order gets shuffled now. That's very interestingly, there it is. Mike gets a jump start, so he has to take a drive-through now. That is going to be very disappointing for him. But now this race gets underway, and Isaac is now running. And actually, Isaac actually gets a drive-through for a jump start. Interesting. Two very quick drivers getting drive-through penalties, and it's the drivers who are in first and second. And Oswin Wilson? Hold on a second. Are everyone getting jump starts? 3 drivers have gotten jump starts for this one. Oswin Wilson, Mike Van Dorn, and Isaac Nielsen. This is already chaos beginning this one here. Isaac already coming into the pits to serve that one. All right, so for a drive-through, you're just going to want to drive through the pits. You cannot do any service to your car. You cannot take a pit stop and drive out. If you do, you will still have to drive through the pits again. So for this drive-through penalty, you just have to drive straight through the pits and come out the other side. But Danny Nasir and Lance Nasir now lead this one as the 3 fastest drivers have been hit with a drive-through penalty. This is insane! I have never seen anything like this one. They all come out track, and looks like DeVille also. Has he taken a drive-through penalty? I don't know. I didn't see it. But the 3 fastest drivers on track have taken a penalty. Now this race gets interesting. This is going to be really interesting now. Lance Nasir and Danny Nasir have a huge advantage at hand now. Isaac is 8 seconds just down the order. If I was Danny Nasir and Lance Nasir, I would be thinking about pitting. I know it sounds a bit ridiculous, but the guys up ahead still need to make a pit stop. I'd be thinking about pitting very soon, as these guys are in a little bit of trouble. Oh no, DeVille retiring out already. We saw him join in for the reverse grid, but does not look like he's able to stay in for long. Mike now, he is past Oswin Wilson, one of the main threats he has, but he still has the Swedish Iceman to overtake as well. But now we have a real challenge to watch here. This is going to be very interesting to see how this race pans out. It's the two Nassirs up at front. Lance Nassir in his best position that he's ever been in CMRSC. Danny Nassir could possibly take home his second career win. What a turn of events. Obviously, we're not able to restart the reverse grids if there were to be issues like this, but I think this just gives us a little fun race to watch. Now Oswin Wilson is not going to want to make the same mistake twice and let go of Mike Van Dorn. It looks like Lance Nassir is probably getting backed up. Yeah. All three drivers who have taken their drive-through penalties are now closing up to the P2 spot. It's really Danny Nassir who's just up at a lonely first position. But for how long? The drivers have been notified at the 15-minute mark. It will be a competition caution. I believe that's the time where all the drivers are going to make their pit stops. As there you see, Mike Van Dorn is closing up to Isaac Nilsson. Isaac losing out there on the inner loop, and now Mike has a chance to take this move possibly. Don't count out Oswin at that rear view mirror there. Here comes Mike though. He has a good slipstream. Is going to want to carry it through to the front straight. That McLaren working very well. Now onto the front straight. Oh, he's all over the rear of Isaac. Does Isaac go to defend? Isaac does defend. Mike holds on to the outside. Takes the fastest lap. Can he get the move done, or is Isaac going to fight it? Isaac is going to fight it. Elbows are out for the Swedish Iceman. But he's just going to have to tuck in behind. Isaac now looking to try to get that position back. Isaac is not afraid of a dive bomb. And Mike, I think he knows that. He covers the inside. Isaac goes to the outside. Do they make contact? No, they don't. Mike, however, gets a really bad line coming out the inner loop. And Isaac still very close, but Oswin Wilson is the one who's gaining. Isaac now has to defend for the BMW. Watch the defense, Isaac. You're only permitted one move. Isaac defending for his life. Race control having to step in there, as Isaac was doing a little bit too much swerving. Almost looked like intentional blocking. But Oswin making the fake. Trying a little Sebastian Vettel-esque move on him there. Oswin is losing out time. He needs to get by Isaac as soon as possible. Isaac is making it very difficult for him. Now on the straight here, Mike is being held up from Lance Nassir. This could be a blessing in disguise. Isaac defending the inside very well. Lance Nassir holding off Mike Van Dorn. This is your battle for P2 now. Amazing battles going on wherever you look. Looks like Mike has the advantage. It's side by side, 2 by 2 in fact. Mike makes the move done. Isaac goes wide. Oswin Wilson a little bit boxed up between himself and Lance Nasir, the two BMWs. But Oswin gets the move done. Oswin now just has one car to go. It's Lance Nasir. And Oswin Wilson's going to take the inside, and Isaac Nilsson is going to follow through. Just like what you see in karting. Oswin Wilson free to move up now the order. Mike Van Dorn is going to want to watch out. Oswin Wilson getting very close. As well as Isaac, who's actually gaining a lot more. Isaac sliding the back end. And what a race we have here. We are just getting word from the media pen. Cole Bradbury apologizing to Danny Nasir for the little incident that happened in race 1. Hopefully we can see him in better spirits next week as we go to Barbados for Bushy Park for the Classic Series Championship finale and round 4 of the Radical Caribbean Cup, as the Radicals have one more race to go. Now Mike into P2. I know it says P4. Just ignore that there. Danny Nasir has a comfortable lead of 10 seconds. How long can he keep that up? We will find out. The drivers do have to make pit stops. There goes Mike through. The carousel now as Oswin Wilson is chasing behind him. Great racing that we're watching here a little earlier. And Marlon Young saying in chat, proper reverse grid right there. The young guns making the old men lead. Danny is running for his life. They still have to make pit stops, so keep an eye on that. And I know Oswin Wilson is going to make life difficult for Mike. Are we going to see a possible undercut from any of the drivers? Mike puts in the fastest lap of a 1:15.1, but it doesn't matter. Oswin Wilson faster with a 1:14.8. Isaac putting in his personal fastest there. But Oswin is all over the rear of Mike Van Dorn. This race is far from over. Mike defending the inside. Switching back to his normal line. Oswin Wilson very close now to Mike. He does not want to make the same mistake as the last one. Now Oswin. He has a very good run. Now on the back straight, Mike. Staying on the inside, switches back to his line. Totally legal from him. But Oswin, however, looking very much quicker. Is also going to set up a move on the front straight. Oh, he has the speed. There he goes. Mike defends the inside. Oswin on the outside for turn 1, the 90. Can Mike hold off? They're side by side. Oswin Wilson just going to have to let go of Mike Van Dorn just for now, but Oswin Wilson is not making life easy for the Dutchman. Oswin Wilson now, the guy in knees, tucking up behind Mike Van Dorn. 2 tenths separate each other. Now Mike staying on the outside. He's going to probably switch onto the racing line. No, he doesn't. This is going to be a very slow line from here. It's going to compromise Oswin Wilson. Oh, it is going to compromise Oswin. He's going to lose out a lot of time there. Mike putting that car in the middle of the track. Oswin Wilson has nowhere to go and is kind of stuck there. The guys are going to have a second chance at it. The competition caution is in 2 minutes from now, where the guys will be bunched up and free to make pit stops. But Danny Nasir leading the majority of this race, but for how long? We will have approximately 13 minutes to defend from the drivers behind. Oswald Wilson's trying very hard now to at least get ahead of him for the competition caution, as they have 1 minute and 45 seconds to go. Oswald is pushing hard. He's 6/10 behind. He knows he cannot get out of the slipstream. Down in 4th gear. The BMW working very well through the assets. But now they're going to have 1 more minute. One more minute before the competition caution is out. Does anyone make a pit stop now? Doesn't look like it, and Oswald Wilson has another run. He is following behind. Mike now, Oswald taking the fastest lap. He's trying everything in the book. 35 seconds to go. Can Oswald make the move? "25 seconds to go. It's going to be all up to this corner right here. The inner loop. It's make or break. 14 seconds to go. Here they come. The competition caution is ready to come out. Oswald Wilson doesn't look like he can do it. And Mike is going to get saved by the bell. All right, competition caution's out. Competition caution's out. No overtaking. Pits are open. So, caution is out. Danny Nasir is going to be the first one to come through and enter the pits. And the other drivers are going to be doing the same. Oswin and Mike hustling up real quick. All the drivers coming in. So, mandatory pit stop, you must make a tire change. Lance Nasir, I assume, coming in for his stop as well. And all the drivers are in. Looks to be, yes, they are. Here they are all in the pit. Who is going to win it off of pit exit? Watching pit exit now. Who's going to take it on? It's going to be a long stop from everyone here. Lance Nasir still getting into his box. Is anyone going to make a budge? Who's it going to be? Danny Nasir gets out. Mike gets out. Oswin is still into the pits. He just gets out. There he is. And Mike is going to... No, there is not. You are the leader. So just give me 80, please. Isaac coming out in P5, and Lance Nasir is the last driver to come out of the pits. We will go green in the start-finish straight, so just keep that pace as it is. Lance Nasir, the last driver to get out on track. What's going on with Lance this year? I know it took him a good while to get back out. He's still not out of his pit box. Now he's turning, and now he is coming out. So keep it at 80. Keep it at 80. So, just reading the chat now. Osmond making the Caribbean proud. And he definitely was, making some big moves. And now this is a big chance. This is really anyone's game here. Everyone has made their pit stops. It's going to be 12 minutes at the line. That pace is perfect. Keep it there. We just have one more car catching up. Lance is here hustling that BMW to get through to the pack now. All right, no more weaving, no more reaving. Weaving, get ready for the restart. Here we go. This is gonna be anyone's game. Coming up to the line now, it's gonna be 10 minutes to go. Green flag. And they go racing. Isaac trying to make a move. Onto the inside, looks like a bit of contact there. Oswin onto the inside of Mike Van Dorn, cannot get the move done. Isaac Nielsen trying to make a move, can't get it done either. It's side by side for the lead. It's Mike and Danny Nazir going up the Essence, and the Dutchman is gonna take the lead of this one. Danny Nazir not too fast out the Essence. Here comes Oswin. Round the outside, there they go. Can he get the move done? No! It's contact! All right, yellow flag, yellow flag, yellow flag. Virtual safety car. Mike slowed down that pace to 80. And a huge crash. 3 cars in it. Oswin Wilson going in for a heavy spin. A terrifying crash coming up to the Essence there. And look at this. Lance Nasir has now been promoted into P2. All right, we can go racing from the start finish straight. Couple drivers honking their horns now.
Who got the Bugs Bunny music?
All right, here we go. All right, get ready. Green flag, green flag. And the restart is now. Isaac makes the move on Lance Nasir. Lance Nasir has been caught sleeping. Lance Nasir caught sleeping. They're going to make it 3 wide, possibly. And Isaac trying to make the move on Mike Van Dorn. It's 3 wide. Still 3 wide. Now it's 2 by 2. Both BMWs of Oswin and Lance Nasir very close together. But now it is Isaac Nielsen who now has a chance at glory. The Swedish Iceman against Mike Van Dorn, the Dutchman here now. There is Oswin Wilson up into P3. There is 9 minutes left into the session here. Oswin now, I guess, a little upset for what has just transpired there. But now 8 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in this one here. And now it is Isaac's turn. It is the Dutchman followed by the Swede, followed by the Guyanese, and then the 2 Canadians falling back. Mike has 1 car to defend here. It is Isaac Nielsen, and let me tell you, Isaac is going to make it as difficult as possible. Isaac is going to be the reason you're going to have to take some painkillers after this one, because he is going to make it tough. And if Mike Van Dorn wastes a little too much time playing around with Isaac, Oswin will be there to pick up the pieces. It is coming down to the line. 7 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in this one. Isaac is going to want to put his head down. Focusing on the battle ahead. It's 1.2 the difference. We now look at the battle cam. 1.2, and we hear the BMW just crossing our screens there. It is not over yet. Anything can still happen here. There you see Oswald Wilson, not too far behind. 15.3 for Mike. 16.0 for Isaac, but 15.2 for Oswin. So Oswin taking some time out the leader as well. And check this out. You have a bit of a move in the back here. Two Canadians. Lance Nasir gets past Danny Nasir. Very interesting here. Two of the BMWs rounding out the top 5. And now Mike is going to want to open that gap up. It's 2.3 now, the gap. I think a lot of these guys are probably hoping for probably a safety car. A final safety car coming to the end of this. Probably one more chance at glory. .1 now, the gap between Wilson and Nilsson. 16.2 for Nilsson, 15.2 for Oswin. Oswin is a second faster. Danny Nasir making the move back on Lance Nasir. Both BMWs battling hard. So you go around turn 1. Great battle from the two Nasirs there, where we come back up the field now, because under a second is Oswald Wilson. Can he get past him as quick as possible so he can fight Mike Van Dorn? Can both of these drivers collide, bringing up the pair of Nasirs into the fray? Here comes Oswin. Ooh, Isaac taking that a little bit wide. Wilson now taking a bit of time off of that gap. So close he is. Mike putting in his personal best of 14.9. 15.1 for Oswin. 15.8 for Isaac. Defending the inside, not the best of lines for Isaac. The gap is even closer, and Oswin looks for a move. Isaac covering the inside, very legal for him to do. After this corner, he can make one defensive move. Ooh, looks like he might have opened up the gap a little bit too late. I heard a little bit of a horn there. Ooh, Oswin running off the track. Losing out to that one there. And Oswin now shuffled back down into third, had a little taste of P2 again. That is not what Oswin needs, as well as coming down to the closing stages of this one. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. Oswin is pushing hard. Cannot afford any other mistake. 16.9 against a 17.5. Mike, though, tuning up the band even more. Bit of a contract from Danny Nasir. Of course, they keep racing now. Oswald Wilson's going to have one more chance in this race to take home P2 against Isaac Nilsson. Oswin now 4/10 after the carousel. Man, Oswin is so close. Building up. Another move that could be done here. He's always been great around the final corner. How's he gonna look here? Well, it's enough for Isaac to think about defending. 2 minutes to go for the Halloween Havoc special, and what Havoc it has been. Coming down to the closing stages of race 2 and the final race for here today. Next week we go to Bushy Park for the finale of the Kirby Motor Racing Sim Club Classic Series and round 4 of the Radical Caribbean Cup. You do not want to miss that one out. It'll be next Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Direct Time. Then the week after that, we have the Radical finale. We are going back to South Dakota for the Radicals for the FIA layout. You guys do not want to miss out on the next 2 action-packed back-to-back weeks for the championship finales. But we focus our attention back here. Oswin Wilson, 5/10. Looks like there's going to be 3 to go from the line. Oswin Wilson closing up, reeling him in more. Nice exit for Oswin. How's it going to be now? Coming up to the 90. Isaac, a bit of a weird line coming in. It's going to lose him a bit of time. The gap is closing down. It's 2/10 now. This is where Oswin lost out. He cannot afford something else to happen. Here they go. Can Oswin at least have the nose up on him? Fakes it onto the inside. Switches to the outside. Isaac has to stay in one place. Isaac very slow through the essence. Ooh, Oswin Wilson. Very close to keep it clean. The leader has 2 laps to go. 3/10 now the difference. They come down to the line here. Isaac first, Oswin. Look how close this is now. Final corner now. Mike has now begun the final lap of the Halloween Havoc special. It's our second Halloween special event. Wilson takes to the inside, goes to the outside. Love that move, but cannot get anything done. However, he's closer now, coming up to the exit. He has leveled his front of the car. They're side by side going up the exit. Oh, there's contact. No, that is not something we want. Oh, and Isaac hits him. Isaac, a little bit of karma for squeezing him out. Isaac still spinning. Here comes Danny Nasir. Oh no! Isaac getting a little too greedy with squeezing drivers off the track. And he has gotten his taste of karma. But now rounding out the last couple of corners, it is Mike Van Dorn, who, ladies and gentlemen, is now going to take home his 4th win here at CMRSC. And he is going to dominate Halloween Havoc. Mike Van Dorn wins at Watkins Glen. In 2nd place, it's not the battle how he wanted to finish, but Oswin is going to take that anyways. Oswin Wilson takes home P2 after a hellacious battle with Isaac Nilsson, and Danny Nasir is finding himself home on the podium. P3 for him, Isaac in P4, Lance in P5. A little fun sprint race there to the end. Lovely reverse grid from you guys there. Congratulations. Starting from 3rd now, Danny Nasir. We just caught you going up the top of Essex, passing Isaac for 3rd. Did you even expect the car to be there?
Honestly, a lot of bumping. So when I saw Oswin and Isaac so close together, for the last 10 laps, I'm just thinking, okay, accident about to happen. So, you know, on the last lap, I guess it happened. So I'll take it.
How was that race with you and Lance this year? We were watching you guys bit by bit. You guys are trading positions.
Yeah, you know, it was fun. You know, back and forth. You know, Lance is good on this track. You know, Watkins again is one of his favorite tracks. So I knew he was going to be competitive here. You know, and then on the restart, when I got tangled up in the whole bunch, and I ended up at the back. I knew it was going to definitely be a fight to get by him. You know, but all in all, good fun. You know, back to the championship next week, but good fun for this week.
Indeed, congratulations.
Mike, this is your fourth, right, Mike? So congrats, Mike, for his fourth win, and Oswin in his second year as well.
Yeah, congratulations to you too for that podium as well. Oswin Wilson now, that was a very hellacious battle between yourself and Isaac. A little bit of bumping here and there, but you came out victorious into P2. How was that one?
Not really how I wanted P2, but I tried my best to leave as much space, and I think I expect him to give me a little more space going side by side through going up the hill, but it's unfortunate what happened, but all that's racing, man.
Indeed, yeah. But that was a really great battle between you guys there. I want to just go back in time to before we had the competition caution, the fight between yourself and Mike, I think it was. How was that one?
It was a good fight. I'm surprised I actually able to keep up with him. With these cars, once you're in the slipstream, you could really keep close and don't allow the other car to get away. So it was a great fight. Mike defended well. The best defending I've seen so far in this series, but it was a good race with him.
Awesome. Congratulations. That was another great podium for you and another race where we just love to watch you battle.
Thank you.
And now in fourth career win, just like that. You're really making a name for yourself here, Mike. That's another win for you. How was that?
Yeah, I enjoyed it quite a bit. Starting from the back, of course. Some good battles with Oswin, of course. So it was a nice battle. Really tried to defend as best I could. Yeah, also I think I had a battle with Isaac as well on the after the caution. But yeah, it was good overall. I think first half pace wasn't great, just lacking a bit of consistency. But after the caution, got my shit together and yeah, just drove to the end.
Sweet. Congratulations there on that win as well. And we can't wait to see you hopefully next week for Barbados.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Sweet. That is going to be Halloween Havoc complete. Next week, we go back to championship formats for a double header to complete the Caribbean Motor Racing Championship. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in this Sunday evening. I'm going to go close off the stream now. You guys can say your last goodbyes.
Goodbye.
Yeah,
All right, guys, looking forward to the long one championship there. Still got 2 more rounds to go, so you know that should be exciting. Hope to see you guys.
You guys gonna put up the Barbados track tonight?
We will do just after we hit the stream. So, what an event that was there. Of course, the turnout not being as expected to be as big. Of course, we are a league that runs every Saturdays. So, we are just very happy that we could have gotten who we gotten here out this evening today. We have not missed a single week of racing ever since we started racing last year. We'll see you next week for the Caribbean Motor Racing Championship. It'll be the final round of the Classic Series. And it will be round 4 of 5 for the Radical Caribbean Cup. Don't miss out. It's going to be action-packed and exciting. My name is Rahul Nishir from Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club. Thank you for joining the program today. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Thank you for tuning out this evening. Good night.